2016 F150, 2.7 liter twin turbo alternator replacement. Disconnected negative terminal. I've already started. You got to take this plenum off for the air box. This piece here, 7 mil here, 7 mil there, and on the other back side, 7 mil there. So that's how far I've gotten already. Next thing I'm gonna do is this hose here with this little white clip. As you can see, you gotta twist it and it'll come off. I guess that's a boost pipe. And that should be enough room so far. Now I'm gonna just loosen the tensioner on the belt to get the belt off. Should be a 15 mil. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention on the back of this duct, or there it is, this breather, it's one connector. That connector is sitting here. I forgot to mention that. But other than that, that's it. Like I said, I'm gonna get the tension off of this pulley to get the belt off. So I got a long extension, quite a few of them, deep socket 15, and as you see, it's against this hose here, and as you push it towards the oil filter, that's the way you take the tension off of the alternator. And I just pulled the belt, you can barely see, I just pulled the belt just off of the alternator pulley. I know you can't see, but you guys are gonna have to believe me. I just pulled the belt off of that. Now I'm gonna try and tackle and figure out where those bolts are. Once I get those bolts out, I should be able to disconnect the connector and the power feed. All right, let's see. Where are we? Golly, I don't know if y'all can see down there, but that's silver. That's a short 15 on a 3/8 ratchet. And let me see. This is what I use to break that nut free. It's not on there tight. You got to take that off with a 15 mil. Once you get the nut off, you will see you got a little star head on the end of that stud. I believe that's a 7, because that stud got to come out too. So let me finish getting that nut off way down at the bottom. So I broke that stud loose with the 7 mil 3/8. I got it out as far as I could. Now I'm gonna switch over to a 1/4 inch 7. So that's the stud I was talking about right here. 7 mil on the front, 15 millimeter nut goes on top, and this goes into the engine block. Now I gotta figure out where that second bolt is. All right, again, I don't know if y'all can see, but down there, it's the alternator socket, 15 mil. That's where my second bolt is. They're not on extremely tight. I didn't have to use no extensions or anything to get either bolts off. So you could do this just basic hand tools. Let me get that bolt out, 15 millimeter. Again, this is what that bolt looked like. Let me compare it with the other one. Give me 1 second. And that's what the other bolt looked like. I just put the nut back on it just so I don't lose it. But you're gonna have to put the stud in first and then put the nut on. I'm putting this one back in. So if I'm correct, this alternator should be free of some sort. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, she's free. I hope it's just 2 bolts. So I'm gonna try and wiggle this out. Again, like I said, I still got connectors that I gotta get off of the alternator. So I gotta figure out how to get that out. All right. So here we have the alternator sitting down there. I just grabbed the front of the pulley, wiggled it up and down, and pulled it towards me, and it came out. I'm gonna disconnect that connector and the bolt behind this little black rubber piece. It's a 13. You should be able to use a socket and ratchet, but I got an electric impact that I'm gonna use. Hopefully that'll take it out. So that's what I'm gonna do. Get those two out. And hopefully we got enough space to pull it up right through here. Alright, I got everything off. She hanging out down there. Now I'm gonna see if I can pull it out. This little hose here does flexes. It should give you some wiggle room. The radiator hose should give you wiggle room. This turbo pipe is solid, hard plastic, so that ain't gonna move. So something gonna have to give, but we should be able to flex some of these hoses to get this alternator to come straight up through here. It's probably gonna come out closest to this ABS pump. So I'm gonna have to do this off camera as well, and I'll let you know when I get it out, or I'll bring you back. Okay, so it looked like this little black pipe with this little clip on it. I'm gonna have to disconnect it from the bottom. Down there, same thing, you twist it and pull off. That might just give me enough room to just slide it to the left and go right in between this. Oh, shit. In between onto the left side. Let me see what happens. Got that pipe off, you just twist it. It come off like butter. Alright, so I'm going up under the truck. And that's where the alternator sits. Shit. And I think, see if I could do this. Where are we? Oh shit, yeah, it came out all right. Hold on. It definitely came out through the bottom. So you can definitely get it out through the bottom. This top bolt is where that stud went through. This, that long bolt. This is actually how it sits in the truck. Then you got this power wire and then that connector. And when we get the new one or get this one rebuilt, whatever we're gonna do, we show you how to get it back in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back the next day installing this alternator on this 2016 F150 2.7 liter twin turbo. We got the alternator, the new one. Now we're about to reverse our order and get it back installed. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this nut off. Take this little thing off there and feed it up under the truck and get it set back in its position. So I got the alternator sitting on a chair. We're gonna feed it up under the front of the vehicle and get it back in its location. Alright, see the alternator back down there. Now I'm gonna get the wire on that plugs into that copper line. I'm gonna screw that on and put the plug in. Got it all together. Now I gotta sit it in its home. That's gonna be the tricky part because I couldn't really see where the bottom tab sits in. So I'm gonna have to feel for it. And obviously, you know, the pulley faces the rest of the direction of the other pulleys. Basically, the pulley faces me, the front of the vehicle. Alright, I don't know if y'all can see, but the best way and the easiest way I found it is to get the top of this alternator up in that hole, put the stud through, and get a couple turns on it. I'm trying to get you out of best position. Get a couple turns on it. Then you should be able to get the bottom bolt started. At least a little bit. But you will need a hammer to tap on the side of it to get it to squish in there. And then you can go ahead and finish tightening up the stud way back in there just a little bit, you can see, and then tighten up that bottom bolt. Alright, so we got her in down there. Only thing left to do is put the belt on. I only took off the alternator pulley. So we're gonna go back over to the tensioner. I know it's hard to see, it's so much shit in the way. Go back over here to the tensioner. I can't even get a good grip on that. Right up in there. Tension that and get the belt back on the pulley. I didn't even take this whole belt off. I just tension and pull just the belt off of the pulley on the alternator. There's so much stuff in the way. So that's what I'm gonna get to now. Okay, so I just got the belt on again. When pushing the tension on this belt, you're taking a weapon of your choice and you're pushing this towards this oil filter to loosen up the slack. The only thing I gotta do is put this air duct back on and that little turbo vent tube or whatever it's called. This little piece that goes to the bottom, you just twist on and then that screws on. Can only go one way. I'm gonna start off with this. I gotta go up under the car, twist this on, bring this up, and that connects. Connect to that little piece right there. Believe it or not, all I did to get this on at the bottom, I don't know if it's gonna let me do it, but you gotta use two hands. But once you get it on, it just push on. You don't even gotta twist it. It pretty much self-twists itself. So let me get that on. I gotta use two hands. Even though I just push on, just give it a little twist, make sure it's locked on there. Now we can go ahead and put this air plenum on. And don't forget, we got a connector that connects into the back of that as well. Alright, this last piece can only go on one way. The big accordion piece goes to the air box. This piece goes to the bottom, and that piece goes there. And that's where the plug connects into. Goes there. So let me get this all pushed in and tightened down. Alright, before you tighten down anything, make sure these little rubber pieces go in between these little tangs. There's one there as well. It's not one up here, but everything is in. Just tighten down everything using a 8mm. 1, 2, and there's one back there somewhere. Then I just got to plug in that connector. Alright, we are done. I know this may not be the best quality video, but I'm assuming it is the best informational video on replacing the alternator on a turbocharge, twin turbocharge, 2.7 liter F150. No coolant hoses came off, as you see, and we are done. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to plug up the battery. So I don't know if you can see back there, the smoke coming out, but she's running. She's running. 2016 F150, 2.7 liter twin turbo, EcoBoost.